Now, President Donald Trump has threatened possible U.S. military action against Islamist militants in Nigeria. That's if the West African nation's government does not stop the killing of Christians. For more, our chief Africa correspondent Jennifer Zabasajja joins us from Johannesburg. Jen, just walk us through how all of this came about and President Trump's post about Nigeria over the weekend.
Right, Jumana, this follows a few weeks where we've been seeing a number of U.S. officials, including Senator Ted Cruz, joining a chorus of U.S. Christians on the political right, really seeming to want to take a closer look into Nigeria. And then, of course, as you mentioned there, over the weekend, we saw an escalation from President Trump on his Truth Social platform, saying that he wanted to designate Nigeria a country of particular concern, potentially placing the country on a watch list of states thought to systemically violate religious freedoms, then threatening potential action, military action against the biggest country on the continent. And then Sunday, really taking even more of a turn because the president apparently got a question from a reporter and reiterated that same rhetoric, asking whether or not it would be airstrikes or ground troops. And he said it could be, I envisage a lot of things. And as you can see there, that is part of what he was saying over the weekend. Now, as you can imagine, this has caused quite a bit of concern, swift responses, including from that of President Bola Tinubu, as you were just mentioning there. He actually put quite a lengthy post on X over the weekend that reads in part, "The characterization of Nigeria as religiously intolerant does not reflect our national reality, nor does it take into consideration the consistent and sincere efforts of the government to safeguard freedom of religion and beliefs for all Nigerians." Now, I think it's important we give a bit of context here because, yes, the country has been dealing with quite a bit of violence and Islamic insurgency in the north from Boko Haram and also from another group known as the Islamic State West Africa Province, dating back to at least 2009. But this is a country of more than 230 million people. It's split by most estimates between Muslims and Christians. And many of the officials that we've spoken to and that have commented on this have said there is not any evidence of particular targeting based on religion. And in fact, the targeting is of all Nigerians, in fact. And what we have seen from President Bola Tinubu over the past few years since he's been in office, this has been something that he has been pressured to address. And he's actually tried to take some reforms to address it. But clearly, this could have some detrimental effects if, in fact, President Trump does follow through on some of these comments.
Well, that's the thing, Jen. First of all, how seriously is the Nigerian government taking these threats? And just as a follow-on to that, what is the risk here for Nigeria if he does follow through?
Right. Well, the fact that we did see such a swift response from President Tinubu sort of indicates to us that they're clearly taking it quite swiftly. And if you take a look at some of the officials that have also commented, many people are a bit puzzled just given this sort of direct targeting of the country. We should also mention that Nigeria has been one of those countries that has faced tariffs, 15% tariffs. That looks like about $400 million in trade for the country. Aid to Nigeria back when former President Biden was in office in 2023 was about $1 billion. So far, what we know is it's about $250 million in 2025. So not only could this potentially have an impact on investor confidence, especially as we've seen Nigeria bounce back from crude. We're now seeing increased crude output. We're seeing some stabilization in the economy. Potentially, this could have widespread effects and come at a time when President Tinubu is at least been pressured and trying to follow through on what a lot of investors had been concerned about the continent prior to this point in time.